Telling supporters last night he doesn't know why House Republicans are opening an impeachment inquiry. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports.
Biden told Democratic donors outside the nation's capital, quote, "I don't know quite why, but they just knew they wanted to impeach me. And now, the best I can tell, they want to impeach me because they want to shut down the government. I get up every day, not a joke, not focused on impeachment."
A shutdown could happen if Congress does not approve new government funding by the end of the month. But Republicans say this is all about allegations the president had a role in his son Hunter's business dealings overseas. And committee chairmen investigating meet this hour, including Congressman James Comer, who says they're evaluating
some of the things that we believe have happened from the Biden family that are in violation with our laws.
Time is running out for Ford and GM and Stellantis, which is Chrysler's parent company. Auto workers have threatened to go on strike at some targeted facilities after midnight.
When the current contract between the union and the Big Three ends amid a battle over pay, benefits, and job protections. A strike could cost the automakers billions, hurt the Midwest economy, and even test President Biden's assertion that he's the most pro-union president in history. The UAW has withheld its support for Biden and urged him not to intervene, as he did last year when he signed a law that made a rail workers' strike illegal.
That's Fox's Jeff Manasso. They keep searching for bodies in muddy streets and buildings washed away in Libya's flood devastation.
The entire city has been annihilated, says Mohammed Salim. He asks for international help. Rescue teams have arrived from several countries, but the mayor of Derna fears as many as 20,000 could have died there.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. 4 Dallas, Texas police officers injured this morning when they were hit by a possibly drunk driver while they were in a standoff with a shooting suspect. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. When a restaurant closes, my reaction is, that sucks. They had good steak. When regional banks close, or 3 of them close overnight, it freaks me out. This is why I have my own personal gold reserve. It's part of my personal protection plan. Call my friends at Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your... so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
It's not just President Biden facing a possible impeachment. There's an attempt in Texas to kick the Attorney General out of office.
Despite being called to testify before Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's impeachment trial, the Republicans' alleged mistress, Laura Olson, did not take the stand.
She is present but has been deemed unavailable to testify.
Lieutenant Governor of Texas Dan Patrick, House managers resting their case, the defense filing a motion for a direct verdict. One of 16 articles of impeachment claims Paxton had real estate developer and donor Nate Paul hire Olson to be closer to him, alleging misconduct, including bribery. Paxton's former aide Drew Wicker testifying he witnessed the Attorney General and Olson together, believed Paul was involved in the renovations of Paxton's home, and was approached by the FBI to discuss what he knew. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Some Republicans in New Mexico have also called for impeachment of Democratic Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham, calling her 30-day ban on carrying firearms in public in and around Albuquerque a violation of Second Amendment rights. A federal judge has blocked part of the ban the governor ordered after the recent shooting deaths of 3 children. Another federal judge has ruled DACA is illegal, siding with Texas and other states that sued to end the Obama-era program President Biden has revised. The order blocks any new applications.
However, it is still intact, at least for now, for the hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants who arrived in this country as children. The White House spokeswoman says the administration will continue to defend DACA from any and all legal challenges.
That's Fox's Kevin Cork. Later this hour, we'll get another inflation update. This one details wholesale or producer prices. The day after the report showing consumer prices rose both month over month and year over year in August. On Wall Street, ahead of that, stock futures are rising. In baseball, Atlanta beat Philadelphia 4-1, clinching the National League East title for the Braves for the 6th year in a row. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. More than 100 state employees in Illinois accused of PPP loan fraud. The state's Office of Executive Inspector General found at least 177 state employees suspected of defrauding the federal Paycheck Protection Program. Workers have been referred to the Illinois Attorney General's office for possible prosecution. And Illinois Appeals Court hearing arguments by attorneys for Jesse Smollett. Lawyers for the actor requesting his conviction of lying to police about being the victim of a 2019 phony racist and homophobic attack in Chicago be dismissed. He argued that he already had to deal with Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox, who dropped the original charges. This year's Illinois State Fair making some history. The governor announcing this year's State Fair attendance total, setting records. The more than 700,000 attendees over the 11-day event made this year's fair the most highly attended fair since industry standards were enacted. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Yeah, good morning, September 14th, Thursday. I have a little jacket on today.
Yeah, me too.
Man, I'm telling you.
Little sweater. I know it, but the sunrise looked gorgeous.
Yeah, the meteorologist Greg Solier brought to you this morning by Urbana Park District.
And they remind you, tomorrow is the Jazz Walk after 5 and the Wandale Sculpture Garden with comments around 4:15. It's all at Meadowbrook Park. You can learn all the details at urbanaparks.org.
Well, good-looking weather there, Mr. Got a weather station when I was 12, meteorologist Greg Solier. So, I mean, this is just a touch of that fall feel here.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? It is a September 14 out there. And while temps are a couple, 2 or 3 degrees below average around here, especially in the afternoon and even more so this morning, we'll make a nice recovery. There is a pattern shift anticipated around here over the course of the weekend and more so into next week. Jet stream winds late next week come up out of south and southwest. Prior to that, nice recovery on temperature. It's always the balancing, juggling act of harvest versus getting moisture in the ground. We'll see probably a little worsening of the drought and dryness issues on this morning's drought monitor. So kind of a little bit of everything for everyone here in the next 10 days to 2 weeks across east central Illinois. 46 by the time you get to Danville, to 47 at Bloomington Normal, 46 up at the Kankakee. There's some lower 40s in northwest Indiana versus closer to home. 52 at Willard and Savoy. Right now 50 at Rantoul. Forecast high with sunshine, 74. The average high this time of the year at about 78, 79. So we'll get there with a very light wind all day long today. It ought to be a nice one. Clear tonight, comfortably cool at 48. Tomorrow, sunshine and 77. We are tracking an upper weather system this time of the year. Sometimes these things can eke out a little more clouds and even a couple of drops of rain, and that's what we're expecting on Saturday, not necessarily around or at football time. Kickoff probably about 68, 78 later in the ball game, and later in the day on a light south and westerly wind. Maybe a sprinkle, and 77 on Sunday. We're dry Monday to Thursday next week, and here come temperatures up close to 80 Monday and Tuesday, lower 80s next Wednesday and Thursday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, so what is appropriate for kids in school? What would be appropriate? What is not appropriate?
Like when it comes to attire?
I'm talking about sex. I'm talking about things like, under the auspices of education. Is there anything that shouldn't be offered at a school? I mean, that's kind of where we are now, right? State of Illinois has banned the banning of any books. And so what Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana read at a congressional committee hearing the other day, I can't play that. I can't play it for you. I can't play the cut. It was so pornographic.
I see.
And so then the question becomes, what, if anything, ever should be? Should we show, Hustler, Playboy in the libraries? Should there be pornographic movie films that kind of... I'm just saying that this was so pornographic. I was like, what are you saying? And it's under the auspices of LGBTQ and homosexuality and all these, but it was very descriptive. Everything about very, very, I can't say it.
Okay.
So I guess the question then becomes, well, should we? Should we ever ban anything from anybody? But then you go to the other side and say, well, why would we expose children in the government-funded school to have that? I mean, they can get it on their phone anytime.
Right.
I mean, they can, certainly it's not like access. And it's a book in a library, but it's, remember the hubbub 35 years ago from Madonna? Well, you shouldn't have that in a Champaign Public Library.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable. It's in Champaign. This is school libraries. School libraries where, and they're saying, well, you're just a homophobic or this is pornographic. Is pornography no longer something we should ban from a child? Should they be allowed to ask questions about how you do that? I mean, it's just stunning to me. We have lost all decency, and plus, I believe it's just evil. If you're exposing the innocent children in our schools to stuff like that, it's evil. It's wrong. Is there no right and wrong anymore?
Right.
I mean, we're starting the whole cashless bail Monday. Partially, you get State's Attorney Julia Reitz on. But in Champaign County, I mean, the cashless bail, and who draws the line of what is what? When should I be allowed to be back on the street in an hour? It is, we've lost the line of right, wrong, good, bad, good and evil, and it's just messing us up more. Don't we see this as a society that this is the wrong path to go?
Well, and because the vocal minority is so loud and objective, and many of us don't want to be confrontational and try to be more polite, we're just keeping our opinions to ourselves. And
those that will are leaving the schools. Those that can are leaving the schools. Those that have the ability that somebody can stay home with the kids. At the cost of daycare right now, you probably, if you have 2-3 kids, probably be cheaper to not work. And we're going to work at home.
Yeah.
Trying to help the kids learn. But a lot of people are going to homeschool now. I mean, the families you want in the schools aren't going. They just won't go. And that's no good. You want everybody to be together in a melting pot. All that, idyllic stuff is totally going away. You're just not going to have, because most people, I would say most, probably there's not over 50% that can have the lifestyle of figuring out how to homeschool. They got to work. We're paycheck to paycheck. 6 out of 10 of us are paycheck to paycheck in this inflation-ridden country right now. So it's like, okay, I don't want pornography. That shouldn't be. It's not appropriate.
Well, and when it comes to the birds and the bees, it is an awkward conversation for our parents to have. But I remember having it with, my parents when I was maybe 3rd or 4th grade or something. And I feel like, mom took out a pencil and actually
that's mom.
Wrote
and that's
some
totally
things.
Whatever mom wants to do is fine with me.
Some
mom
things.
And dad, that's fine. But
and it's not an anatomically correct book that we're learning the parts of the body, right?
There's education
in the library. I feel like.
Well, there's certain things, but not the descriptive way in which people have sex. So incredibly candid for a school library. I'm just saying that's what makes me, what is the line? Is there no line anymore? You're just some sort of a nationalist and you're trying to ban the children from education and we won't burn books in our, it sounds good from the, you should have an exposure to all different kinds of ideas. But at some point you're saying, boy, that's evil.
Right.
You don't expose a child to evil things. There's good and bad and good and evil and all these other things. And yet there's no difference anymore. It's like, do whatever you want, honey. It's just fine. Because you got to live and be you. This is not working. I'm just telling you, it's going to get worse.
Right.
217-359-2255. Elegant rant to start the program.
Okay, then that was interesting.
That's Illinois.
Don't come out of the gate so strongly.
I just saw Alexia Janulius, who's really behind this law.
Yeah, I saw him was testifying the other day.
Yeah, and
about libraries.
Senator Kennedy's reading this. I'm going, what is this? Oh, it's in my school library. Okay, how many kids are going to run about everybody? When your kids and you're 12 or 13 or something.
Right.
Oh my gosh, you're putting that in their head. Sometimes you can't forget stuff like that. Sometimes images that you see should never go away, and you're doing that to the kids in a government-funded school. It's not right.
Well, and you got to watch what they're searching too. I mean,
no, you can't control that. That's out of the gate. It's up to the parents. They got the phone, and the kids can. I'm saying they can get it anyway. So, but why would you sponsor it in a school?
Right.
Why would you not say, there are standards we have, and pornography isn't allowed in our school library? All right, 217-359-2255. John Decker at the bottom of the hour. Let's check sports headlines.
All right, St. Louis Cardinals win over Baltimore. The final was 1-0. Let's get your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. Only one runner reached third base the entire game for the Baltimore Orioles, and that was on a 2-out triple by Gunnar Henderson off Ryan Helsley. But the next batter, Hicks, popped out to the shortstop, Mason Wynn, and the Cardinals won 1-0 on a Richie Palacios home run, giving Drew Rahm his first Major League victory.
Only 7 hits in the game. Drew Rahm was terrific. Clearly his best start as a big leaguer. He had 7 punch-outs in the game, had a lot of life on his fastball, looked really strong, and attacked his former team. He was an Oriole, came over in the trade for Jack Flaherty, and he really pitched very well against his old team, and very excited for Drew, and excited to have Ryan Helsley close out a game and pitch in back-to-back days again. He was good in the ninth.
He picked up his 10th save, and Richie Palacios hit his 3rd home run in the last 2 games. It stood up 1-0, and the Cardinals turned 7 double plays in the series. Cardinals against the Phillies tomorrow night. The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
Colorado over the Cubs. That final was 7-3. Cubs are at 78-69 on the season. Actually slipping. Are they second team in playoff contention now?
Second. They're only a game and a half behind Philadelphia. You want to be the first team in the playoffs, but in the wild card, it's a better. You get 3 home games or something. So that's what you want. But it's losing 2 out of 3 to Colorado is not good. This is tight. It's Philadelphia 3.5 ahead of the third place wild card team. Cubs are 2 up, but then you got Cincinnati and Arizona tied for the 3rd spot, half a game ahead of Miami and San Francisco. This is crazy. So it's going down to the last day. And the Cubs just got to try to win. And just win. Otherwise, they're going to slip out. It's going to be close. It's going to be real close.
Kansas City over the Chicago White Sox, 7-1. The Atlanta Braves are solid right? They've got 95 wins.
Clinched last night.
That's right.
Yep.
So, Illinois volleyball in action in the 4 o'clock hour. The Purdue Boilermaker Challenge is going on. We'll face USC. NFL football, I believe it's the Minnesota Vikings and Philadelphia Eagles tonight. Of course, our Illini in action against Penn State. 11 a.m. on Saturday.
And I told you by Friday I got a storm in the white uniform Penn State. Anyway. Monday, I'm like, okay, that's it. Season's over.
Right.
By Wednesday, it's you have a chance.
Right.
And Friday, it's like, I think we're going to win.
Okay. And it's the hail to the orange out, so make sure you got your orange and all of that.
Okay. Again,
just pulled up what you're talking about.
But if you say don't ban books, most people say, you shouldn't ban. They put it under
these are graphic.
No,
books.
this is not. But then
it's not regular books.
It's just so wrong. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it's the wrong direction, my friends. It's 217-359-2255. Pornographic material in libraries at school.
I don't think we had this kind of stuff back in our day, Stevie. It's just.
No,
this is really bad.
You wouldn't find that in the Unity Library in the 70s. Here's your weather.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana and Vicinity had a pretty quiet, easygoing late summertime weather pattern on the maps and charts. Weekend weather system may generate a couple of sprinkles of rain, and that's it. Otherwise, very pleasant over in Memorial Stadium for football Saturday. Big warm-up slated around here over the middle and late portions of next week. Still a fair amount of summertime to go, and there may be a trend towards wetter weather patterns as well as we wind on through the remainder of the second half of the month of September. A little patchy fog around early on this morning, otherwise mostly sunny, light wind in 74, clear tonight in 48, sunshine tomorrow in 77. Weekend forecast, some increasing cloudiness, maybe a couple of sprinkles around. Kickoff temperature about 68 Saturday, up to 78 later in the day. Sunday high of 77. We'll get close to 80 Monday and Tuesday, into the lower 80s. We climb next Wednesday and Thursday. Weather ahead for late next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchis, Greg Soldier.
a tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street will be reacting today to another inflation reading. The producer price index for August, prices at the wholesale level, also retail sales for August. Investors decided yesterday to look at the few bright spots in the consumer price index report for August. The Federal Reserve meets next week. Delta is updating its Sky Miles program, and along with it will make it harder to use its Sky Club starting in February of 2025. Delta's been dealing with overcrowding at the clubs. Holders of the American Express Platinum Card, as well as the Delta Reserve American Express Card, will be limited to 6 or 10 annual visits. And if you have a basic economy ticket, you will no longer have access to the Delta Lounge starting next January. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
I'm Janice Dean, Fox News senior meteorologist, and my brand new podcast, the Janice Dean Podcast, is launching on the Fox News Podcast Network. Every week, I'll be focusing in on a person, a place, or a thing that deserves your attention because it makes the world a better place. Be sure to subscribe to the Janice Dean Podcast at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And don't forget to spread the sunshine.
Amy needed to sell her mom's home in Thomasboro, and she needed obviously as much as she could get to help pay for some care. Well, she talked to an agent, real estate agent, who sold the home across the street. They suggested listing the home for $130,000 since her mom's home was similar. Well, she went to Nate Evans. She talked to the group and got really kind of fired up. Nate's team assured her it was worth more than $130, and I'll be darned, they got $162.
Nice. Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty, getting you that immediate cash offer. If you're looking for your timeline to move a little faster, you want flexible fees and to sell your home for the most money possible. Plus, I was just talking with someone the other day about his partnership with the top builders in the region, some of them exclusively, so he has knowledge of new developments going up before other buyers are aware of them, these new construction homes before they hit the market in a variety of price points and neighborhoods. So if you're looking at a new chapter on the horizon, call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans at 217-239-7113 or an online search to Nate Evans Group to start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club?
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
So what did our Senator Dick Durbin say about book banning?
Right. He said no one is advocating for sexually explicit material for children and that it's a distraction from the real challenge.
If you're allowing sexually explicit materials in public schools, how's that different from advocating? Well, we don't really ask for it, but, it's part of, blah, blah, blah. Right? I mean, I'm just then, with all this being talked about, well, you can't ban any books in a library, then there are no rules, I presume. So you can put anything you want in there under the auspices of you don't want to, white nationalist. I mean, you're just a bigot. You're a homophobe. It's pornography. Can't we all agree that pornography for children? Would you show a pornographic movie in class under the auspices of education?
Right.
I don't think you would do that. And if you start doing that, we're going down the wrong path right now anyway. Let's just go quicker.
But this is describing really explicit acts. And
it is so bad, I can only talk about it, but I can't read anything about that.
And I'd like to, but I'm not going to.
We're talking about 14-year-olds who are curious and clamoring for information and whispering about stuff, and then you fill in their head with this kind of garbage, and it's just down the wrong path. I'm telling you, it is so bad, so wrong, so evil. And all I can do is, take our little broadcast company and say it's wrong and it's bad and it's evil. And a lot of you are nodding, I agree. But what's happening to our society that have public officials that allow this? And of course, they're not advocating for it, but you don't want to get caught in that, snowball where you're going to start banning that because you disagree with it. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about explicit material that's never been allowed.
Right. And Dick Durbin's comment says, I understand and respect that parents may want to choose or limit what their child reads, especially at the younger ages. My wife and I did. Others do too. But no parent should have the right to tell any other parent's child what they can and cannot read in school or at home.
Well, in school, there ought to be a line of decency, shouldn't there be? Of this is what we allow in our school.
Right.
You can't come naked to school. Well, why is that? Because you can't come naked to school. But why not? And your shorts are too short. Well, why? Well, you're discriminating against me because I'm Hispanic or something, right? I mean, we are in such a crazy time, and there's no common sense. We've totally lost common sense, and we're losing our way when it comes to right and wrong and decency, and we're losing it, and the society will crumble. This ship will sink. America won't last if we crumble from within, and it feels like it started already, and we better be careful because stuff does go away. And so you better understand that what you think is infallible is not. All the great societies have failed. The Roman Empire looked pretty good for a while. How'd that happen? It rotted from within. And we're rotting from within when we allow this kind of stuff. You think it's a small thing. No, not for me. We're filling the heads of these kids with the wrong things. We should be talking about, for school. I believe it should be very specifically education.
Right.
Stuff like history and getting the story on how things developed in the 60s and what happened with the Civil Rights Movement and World War II and what happened with Nazi Germany and the Japanese and Pearl Harbor and some of the basic history. And without the slant, please, just give me the facts.
Well, and I feel like when I was in middle school or something, there was a Judy Blume book or something, and it was earmarked on the page, and it was like when you had a study hall in there, you grabbed that book and read that part, and I feel like it was very tame, some kids making out or something awkward or whatever, their first experience.
But you're curious and you want information.
Yeah.
Everybody earmarked the page.
That's right.
What are they going to do with these?
And then you talked about it in the cafeteria. If there were books like this back in the day, oh my goodness.
Well, it again makes thoughts of hormonic boys that see and hear all this stuff, and all of a sudden they want to act on it, and then it's just wrong, and it's going to mess them up for life. I mean, it's a very damaging thing.
And to me, it's unfortunate about real love and great relationships and how wonderful it can be.
We will be right back with John Decker, live near the White House every Thursday. That is next on ESPN 93.5. You can always comment 217-359-2255.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
No matter what, it takes a great team to win. And in Fairbury, Aftershock Decals and Design wins consistently. And it's the all-star team that makes it happen. Do you have what it takes to be a part of this winning team? Aftershock Decals and Designs is recruiting. If you are looking to join this all-star team and you have 2 years of experience in either graphics design or wrap installations, we want you. AftershockDD.com/jobs. Aftershock Decals and Design is an equal opportunity employer. That's a wrap. Get noticed.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Biden says he's not focused on House Republicans' efforts to impeach him.
Biden told Democratic donors outside the nation's capital, quote, "I don't know quite why, but they just knew they wanted to impeach me. And now, the best I can tell, they want to impeach me because they want to shut down the government."
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson.
You see a culture of corruption. We are going to get the answers to these questions.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy tells Fox's Sean Hannity the impeachment inquiry now underway is justified. Hurricane Lee could be the first to make landfall in Maine as a hurricane since 1969.
Lee is tracking northward, bringing impacts along the East Coast, including possible tropical storm conditions for parts of coastal New England and a storm surge threat for southeastern Massachusetts. The Northeast needs to monitor Lee's progress over the weekend.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois Secretary of State Alexei Janulius promoting a new Illinois law that'll outlaw book bans. He testified before a U.S. Senate committee in Washington, D.C. about a measure that allows his office to deny grant funding to public and school libraries that ban books for partisan or doctrinal reasons. It'll take effect in Illinois January 1st. Illinois State Police reminding drivers and farmers about traffic safety as the state enters the fall harvest season. Farmers across the state moving equipment along roadways during the harvest season. Drivers and farmers urged to share the road to help reduce crashes involving tractors, implements, and other farm equipment. Department of Labor confirmed Monday they're opening an OSHA investigation. It follows the explosion at the ADM East plant Sunday night. The explosion left 8 employees hurt. Illinois Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski said the investigation is warranted, especially considering past incidents at that facility. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Weather brought to you by Carl.
Reminding you that if you're a man, you need to have that discussion about the pros and cons of prostate screening and learn more about your health as you visit carl.org for details.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and Panhandle this Saturday and easy going. Late summertime weather pattern continues on. Pattern shift ahead for next week into warmer days and perhaps some increased shower activity late next week and beyond. Apart from that, an easy going weather pattern, the story for the upcoming weekend, including football Saturday. Oh, there may be a sprinkle or two and nothing more. A little patchy fog around here early on this morning. Otherwise, lots of sunshine, light wind, and high to about 74. Average high this time of the year right around 79, so with a ballpark there. Clear tonight, 48. Tomorrow, sunshine, more seasonal at 77 in the afternoon. Light east to southeast wind. Clouds increase Saturday and a partly sunny Sunday. There could be a sprinkle around. Light winds. Kickoff temperature about 68 Saturday at 11 o'clock. 78 later in the ball game. 77 the forecast high on Sunday. Here comes a warm up next week at 78 Monday, near 80 Tuesday, lower 80s for Wednesday and Thursday, and Friday next week. Nights down into the 55 to 60 degree range. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is September 14. It is 2023, and it's Thursday. John Decker. John Decker. John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. He is the one we know. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room.
John Decker. John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. John Decker.
Yes, children in combines now singing the theme. Ladies and gentlemen, Gray Television's White House correspondent is John Decker, just a few miles from the White House. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm ready to head out the door to the White House today. I'm going to spend all day with President Biden today, traveling with him in his motorcade to Prince George's County, Maryland. That's a stone's throw away from Washington, D.C. He's going to deliver an economic speech in Prince George's County, touting his economic policies. And we'll see if it's anything different than what I've heard over the course of the past few months. You know, if there's anything new that I hear that I haven't heard already when I've traveled with the president. So that's coming up later this afternoon. But hope you're having a good week, Stevie.
Yeah, I am. I'm just trying to sort the world out, and every day it's always a challenge. So
it is.
The Bidenomics term. It's like, Captain, isn't there water coming in the boat, sir? No, there's no water in here. It is look at the sun shining. It's gorgeous out here. I mean, John, 6 out of 10 are paycheck to paycheck. Inflation's going crazy. Right. When they figure their numbers, they take out gas and food. You know, any kind of economic person can grab whatever numbers you want. The bottom line is, here in the heartland, people are feeling the crunch of spending $90 on meat for your family for a week. It is. You can't tell me I don't have a headache when I have a headache.
Yeah, no, look, it's a difficult message to deliver. There are some positive signs in the economy, but people aren't feeling it. So the positive signs, low unemployment, wages are actually ahead of inflation nationwide. And in addition to that, inflation is down from where it was a full year ago. That being said, to your point, people are not feeling that. And as a result, you know, you have some work to do if you're President Biden. You're touting what he calls Bidenomics, and you're running for re-election. It's an awfully big task for him to try to sell this to folks, as you point out, in the heartland or anywhere else in the country when people are just not feeling those good economic numbers in a real way.
Yeah, and then there probably won't be any chance to ask him a question following his talk. I'm sure not.
No, I doubt it. I don't think that it's not that type of event.
Yeah.
Doubt will, you know, I mean, we are in the motorcade, but sometimes the motorcade is so long, I don't even see him getting into his vehicle. That's how far away we are from President Biden, which is not different than any other president. I'm not saying that there's a longer motorcade for Biden than there was for Trump. It's just the nature of this type of event and what we'll be doing today. But yeah, no opportunity to ask President Biden a question. Did you see his press conference, by the way, that he had in Hanoi, Vietnam last week? Did you see a clip of that?
I've never heard somebody cut the president off and then play Johnny Carson music, jazz on the way. I've never heard it. I've never seen it.
Good.
I would guess in 250 years we've never had a president into press conference and I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I've never. This is so wonderfully unprecedented that we always have news every day.
Yeah. Look. This was a press conference that news organizations, we didn't do this. It was on a weekend, and, the reason why we don't go on a trip on the weekend is because, quite frankly, local news. Local news on the weekend, what are you showing? You're showing Illinois football. You're, getting ready for the Bears. It's just not going to get played on the weekend, so we did not go on this particular trip to either the G20 or to Vietnam. But for news organizations that paid a lot of money to travel there, what did they get for their money as far as the press conference is concerned? 5 questions. That's all he took. Lasted 26 minutes. So you travel halfway around the world for that. I don't know if you're getting money's worth if you're, pick your news organization that did that. So that's unfortunate. And, it's really unfortunate that, I'd be happy. I got to tell you something, though. I'd be happy with 5 questions in 26 minutes, formal news conference at the White House. Let alone going all the way to Hanoi, Vietnam.
No, so, and somebody please, he might want to substitute John Wayne for, say, I don't know, Tom Cruise, somebody that people know. Okay, the John Wayne reference is just like the people 80 plus had a chuckle. 80 plus.
There you go.
I mean, it was just, I don't know. It's a head shaker. The handling of this president as well. Okay, so the impeachment inquiry.
You can tell exactly what's happening at the White House. The Bidens have given the marching orders to the media. They know that they do not want to provide the information to the American people, and the American people deserve it. That is exactly why I did impeachment inquiry.
The only reason Speaker McCarthy is doing this political stunt, and we have seen it, you all have reported, is because Majority Taylor Greene has said she threatened to shut down the government.
Okay, so good news. The memo from the White House to news organizations, executives, and editorial people start pounding on the Republicans. Isn't that nice to have a direction, John, for you to follow?
That to me was so mishandled and so Bush League. I mean, you can put everything in that memo and send the memo without saying, this is what we would like you to cover, news organizations. And I got that memo, by the way. It doesn't make it. It's like, who do you think we are? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Could you hold on? Can you cut the stream on this? We don't want John to be in trouble because if they hear this, he's okay. Go ahead.
Cut the stream.
Yeah, we can't because John, it'll get out that you're acting like an independent journalist. Don't do that. Do you want to sit in row 5 or not?
Yeah. No, look, I don't get that one. The person who is the individual who speaks on behalf of these issues at the White House really needs to rethink the way they handled the first 24 hours. And I get you're trying to convince that's thin. I get that you're trying to convince news organizations to cover a story in a particular way, but you don't go right out and say, this is the way we want you to cover this particular story. That is not slick. It is not seasoned. It's not a seasoned approach, and to me, it's a head scratcher as to why you go about doing it in that fashion.
So, John, let's say you're a rebel and you do your own thing. Does that limit you access, or you don't get the question for the next 2 weeks?
No, you know this, Diane. You know this, Stevie. I ask the tough questions, and I get called on. I'm not concerned about, that being shut out. Now, there are others that are. So I can only speak for myself. I know that I'm confident enough in what I do, my reputation, that I can ask those tough questions, and I do, and I get called on at the next press conference after asking those tough questions. But there, quite frankly, are quite a few people in the press briefing room that would never ask a question that involves uttering the word hunter. They would never think of doing such a thing for that fear that you're talking about, Diane.
John Decker's on the Tapman Towing phone line, and every now and then I need to do this for my own social media protection. I am so glad that Joe Biden is my president and Kamala Harris is my vice president. Okay.
That should cover us.
Here's John Kirby yesterday in the White House press room being asked kind of a tough question.
John, in the past couple of weeks, the president has lied about being at Ground Zero the day after the September 11th attacks, falsely claimed he saw the Pittsburgh Bridge collapse, claimed his grandfather died in the hospital days before his birth. What is going on with the president? Is he just believing things that didn't happen did happen, or is he just randomly making stuff up?
The president was...
Then he kind of rambled on, but that was pointed. That was pointed. I wonder if that guy...
It was very pointed. I thought it was a good start. But if you're in that briefing room, and I know that reporter that asked that particular question, he works for the Washington Times, good reporter, but you need to be ready with a follow-up. It's not just a matter of, hey, I've got this great question. I can't wait to ask my great question. Okay, so John Kirby doesn't answer any aspect of that question. So, if you're going to drop the bomb, so to speak, then full out drop another bomb and say, you didn't answer one aspect of my question. Just say that as a follow-up. You know what I mean? Put people on the spot. And so that would be if someone's going to take my urging, my advice, that would be my advice to that particular reporter.
Dana Perino, who I like and respect a lot, and she's White House spokesperson for George W., but she said, I think it was last night on one of the shows, that she said, if when they do things like this, there's got the hammer guy that you don't get much after that. You don't get invited to that thing that you want to go to. You don't get invited. So there's pressure in Washington. You would be aware of that pressure and seeing others feel that. But do you truly get shut out of like the cocktail thing that you always got invited to, that if you don't behave, thus they send a memo saying guys need to hint the Republicans on this stuff?
Well, for this particular report, I don't know whether he's concerned about it. I don't know whether he got invited to those things that you're referring to in the first place. So I guess he feels, I've got nothing to lose. Let me go all out, ask this question that might be on the minds of the people that read the Washington Times and other news organizations as well. I think that Dana raises a good point. It gives me a sense about how she reacted when she got a question that she didn't like. She shut them out when she was the press secretary to George W. Bush. But look, that should not dissuade. You're in there for a reason, in that briefing room for a reason, and you can't be worried about those types of things. If you're worried about those types of things being invited to a party, then you're in the wrong business. You shouldn't be in the briefing room asking, tough questions of the press secretary.
All right, is there enough for an impeachment inquiry to see where this leads?
Look, I have problems with various aspects of what we've learned so far. To me, it doesn't look right that Hunter Biden is being paid a significant amount of money, and that what we've known so far, what we've learned so far definitively, is that certain Biden family members, not Joe Biden, but certain family members of Hunter Biden have benefited financially from his business dealings. That doesn't look right. That doesn't make sense. And so I understand why there's an investigation that's being conducted by the House Oversight Committee. I do think, and I agree with the Wall Street Journal editorial page, I do think that Kevin McCarthy needs to do what Nancy Pelosi, the House Speaker, did, which is, okay, Pelosi launched an impeachment inquiry as well, but then she did go through the process of getting the full House to vote on it at some later point. And I think McCarthy needs to do that as well. He needs to just, close that loop and have all of his members, Republican and Democrat, on the record as to whether or not they support this. And so that hopefully will happen in the next few weeks or next few months as this impeachment inquiry continues to be done by the relevant committees, including the Judiciary Committee and the House Oversight Committee.
Gray Television did not send John Decker to Asia. They're really smart.
No,
because this is
very smart.
This is all they got.
We don't have a game plan. He may have a game plan. He just hasn't shared it with me. But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go today.
Wow.
No, I didn't get that. I'm gonna. Wow. Yeah, wow. I'm going to New York City next week. However, I'm covering President Biden's speech at the United Nations. That will be on Tuesday morning. So I don't think we'll have a press conference with President Biden when he's up in New York City. But yeah, that's quite the clip you played there, Stevie. That sums it all up, I guess.
Yeah, and he needs to probably stop saying, "I'm just doing what I'm told. I'm not calling on you. I got 5 questions." Stop talking like that. Just call in your pictured person and get it done and move out and tell them where to walk. And John, listen. I mean, it's more of a human thing than it is. It's just we're all headed north on the age. And it's kind of sad for me in parts because I wouldn't let President Biden dog sit for my dogs because I'd be afraid he'd forget where they are. I'm sorry. That's just kind of where I am. And so
yeah.
The job really is hard. It's probably the hardest job in the world. And we're asking this man to go to age 86 doing this the way he sounds now. I don't get it. I don't know why Jill Biden would allow it. I don't know why family allowed it. He's just going to say, honey, this is it. You've done amazing for 50 years. Now it's done. You did great. We're going to build a statue about you or whatever. But don't put the man out there. Look, everybody clearly sees this.
I think it's so hard to walk. Look, I'm not in his position. I think it's so hard to walk away. Just walk away when you think you still, and I think he still does. He puts on those Ray-Bans. He looks in the mirror. He thinks he's 35 years old.
Yeah,
I think he believes he still has it. And, it's tough to come to that conclusion. It's not, it has never been said, that often. I should say it has been said, but it's never been said that often. I think, God rest her soul. I think Ruth Bader Ginsburg was selfish. I think that she had an opportunity to step away, allow President Obama, when Democrats still controlled the Senate, to name her replacement. But she, too, felt she was still on her A game. She could, last forever, despite, all of her health issues. And similarly, sometimes you got to know when your time's up and you pass the baton to someone else. I mean, Mitt Romney said that essentially yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for a new generation. It's time for me to pass the baton. And he even talked about his own age, and he said, I think that Donald Trump is too old, and I think that Joe Biden is too old to be in the position of the presidency.
All right, last question. John Decker. Rick wanted to know on 217 text. Asked John Decker what tickets would cost to the Women's U.S. Open tennis final. What were numbers? Do you have any idea?
Oh, my gosh. Wow. It depends where you're sitting, right? Fortunately, Rick, I had a media credential, so it was free for me, which is nice.
Nice.
But if you're not a member of the credential media, I would say you're looking general admission face value, probably in the neighborhood of just $200, I'd say.
But the StubHub number is going to be way higher for.
But the StubHub numbers are going to be way up.
Yeah.
So if you were wanting to have a great seat to see Coco Gauff win that championship, you're spending thousands for your seat. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
John, you're the best. We appreciate John Decker, great television White House correspondent extraordinaire, will not take walking orders from anybody, even if it's a memo. Well done, sir. Well done.
Thanks, Stevie.
Appreciate you. John Decker, live near the White House, ESPN 93.5. Watts Copy Systems can give you a free analysis of what you're doing with your copier and color prints and what are you spending. Call Greg Wolf, Watts Copy Systems, where service is more than a promise.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana this Saturday had a pretty quiet, easygoing late summertime weather pattern on the maps and charts. Weekend weather system may generate a couple of sprinkles of rain, and that's it. Otherwise, very pleasant over in Memorial Stadium for football Saturday. Big warm-up slated around here over the middle and late portions of next week. Still a fair amount of summertime to go, and there may be a trend towards wetter weather patterns as well as we wind on through the remainder of the second half of the month of September. A little patchy fog around early on this morning, otherwise mostly sunny, light wind in 74, clear tonight in 48, sunshine tomorrow in 77. Weekend forecast, some increasing cloudiness, maybe a couple of sprinkles around. Kickoff temperature about 68 Saturday, up to 78 later in the day. Sunday high of 77. We'll get close to 80 Monday and Tuesday, into the lower 80s. We climb next Wednesday and Thursday. Wetter weather ahead for late next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchis, Greg Solgay.
Well, on Thursdays about this time, my son Nathaniel, call him Nathaniel's son, so reference to who he is.
It makes sense.
He was in Champaign yesterday. He was a guest lecturer at Cacciaturian Hall, Civil Engineering. He did an outstanding job for AJ. Just a terrific presentation about, bid build versus build design and all these other things that Nathaniel does every day. I really enjoyed it. He did a great job.
Good job.
No, I'm glad you attended that. Hopefully you learned a little bit about the advantages of design build versus design bid build, which is just a more typical form of construction.
No, it was awesome. Works for Opus up in Chicago, but he does Did You Know on Thursdays. What do you got today, Nathaniel?
Well, so last week we're going to continue the same theme talking about water and the water that's on our planet. We're going to go a little bit deeper today. And last week we got some of the basic details. We learned and we established that, 70% of the planet's surface is covered by water, which a lot of us probably already knew. But we learned that only about 1% of that water is actually accessible drinking water, because the other 99% is either salt water or fresh water that's trapped in the form of ice and glaciers in the polar ice caps. Now, we did mention last week that the Great Lakes make up about 20% of the world's surface fresh water. But did you know that these would actually get used relatively quickly if it was the only source of water for either the country or the globe? Now, let's look at an example. In Kazakhstan, just bordering Russia, the Aral Sea used to be the fourth largest lake in the world, larger, to put it in perspective, than Lake Michigan. Now, Lake Superior currently is the second largest lake in the world, and it's actually so large that it technically qualifies as an inland sea. Now, in the 1960s, the Soviet Union diverted the rivers that fed the Aral Sea to feed irrigation elsewhere. And by 2007, only 47 years later, this lake had shrunk by 90%.
Oh.
And by 2014, the vast majority of the lake had dried up. And that's a lake larger than Lake Michigan. Now, what was once the Aral Sea is now the Aralkum Desert. Now, fortunately for the United States and Canada, we saw this going on, and we learned from this, and we established something called the Great Lakes Compact, which essentially restricts the use of water in the Great Lakes to public water supply, and it inhibits any diversions from the rivers flowing into or out of the Great Lakes. And this was established in 2008 by all 8 states bordering the Great Lakes and by the United States and Canada in conjunction. So what do we do with all this information? This is, water is a scarce resource, and for better or for worse, it doesn't seem like this will not be going away. So we just should be smart about our water consumption. Last week we learned that, for a shower you use about a gallon a minute. And while it may seem contradictory, washing dishes by hand actually uses about 5 times more water than washing dishes in a dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
So here's to staying hydrated, because that is important, but to doing it smartly.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I didn't know about the whole Russian lake. I didn't know that we have a compact 2008. All good stuff to preserve it, because if you take that 100-gallon example, you have 100 gallons of water, and only one of them is drinkable, and you got about 8 billion people that are needing water. You kind of wonder if it's going to last if we're not smart, right?
Well, it's certainly something that a lot of governments and a lot of scientists are paying attention to.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. Good stuff, Nathaniel, son. I learn something every darn week.
Me too.
There you go. All right.
That's the goal.
Off you go to another busy day of engineering and project managing. Well done.
So when you start your guest lecture, do you say, "This is my grandfather, Narby Ketchatarian, he used to teach here," that sort of thing?
No. The professor who invites me, or the professor who I have a relationship with, one of them, knows the history. So I think he briefs the students a little bit.
Okay, good.
No, Diana, I'm just excited and humbled to get to do that. It's an incredible opportunity.
Awesome. Well, they're honoring my father October 6th with a posthumous award on his work here at the University of Illinois. Came to America and taught 40 years. And he had 2 pretty prominent students. One was the guy that built the Sears Tower, and the other was a guy that has built Burj Khalifa, who Bill Baker.
Yeah.
Tallest building in the world in Dubai.
Right.
And his favorite professor was my dad, Nathaniel's granddad. So.
Nice.
Anyway, good work, Nathaniel. We appreciate you very much.
All right, guys. Thanks. Have a good one.
Talk to you next week. Did you know with my son, Nathaniel's son?
Love it. Great
in
segment.
Chicago. All right, ESPN 93.5. The news is coming up. We got a lot more to come in our final hour of the program. Stand by. Good news for veterans in Champaign County.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little surprising. And kudos to the county board.
Absolutely.
Just tape that now. I just said kudos to the county board.
Wow.
Amazing. We'll be right back. ESPN 93.5. House Garages is celebrating their 50th anniversary. And now through December, when you purchase a garage, you can enter to win 5% off. Just visit CoachHouseGarages.com. That's CoachHouseGarages.com, or call Chuck Ruth.
As the summer temperatures rise, make sure your energy bills stay low. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing to upgrade to a high-efficiency Lennox air conditioner. Dogtown offers financing, including 0% no interest for qualifying customers. And if you have rooms in your house that don't seem to stay cool, call and ask about the great rebates on the Daikin ductless mini splits. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Here's what new customers are saying about Interstate Batteries.
It's nice to see capable and helpful associates. They did a top-notch job.
They were easy to talk to and explained everything.
Service was prompt and I was a walk-in. Total service time was only like 20 minutes. I highly recommend Interstate Batteries.
Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. How much is dependable worth? Experience them for the first time at 2504 North Mattis. Way out there, but worth the drive. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
Visit InterstateBatteries.com. Crossroads Contractor Supply specializes in the delivery of tools and supplies within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana. Reliable, timely, and with reasonable prices, Crossroads Contractor Supply knows what equipment and tools are needed for your job. Get the job done right with proper tools and equipment. Did something break? Construction materials, tools, as well as safety equipment, all available at Crossroads Contractor Supply. Visit CrossroadsContractorSupplyIL.com.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Local, personal, trusted. Hi, this is Ata Durakan with First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, and we've been serving Champaign County since 1908. Our institution is safe, strong, and stable. We operate on a foundation of responsible and sound practices, and you can rest easy knowing we're your bank. Rated 5-star superior by Bauer Financial Inc., fast, friendly, and local, with local loan decisions and underwriting. If you're not already banking with us, give us a try, and we think you'll love it here. First Federal Savings Bank, 356bank.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 435120.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Big three automakers have only 15 hours left. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Our message to the companies was clear. If we don't have a fair contract by midnight on Thursday night, we will strike.
UAW President Shawn Fain that auto workers' strike would be at targeted locations for Ford, GM, and Chrysler parent Stellantis.
They haven't said yet which plants would strike first, but any sort of work stoppage would certainly have an impact on the U.S. economy. There's a group out there studying what this could mean. They say at least $5 billion could be lost if this strike were to last at least 10 days, if not longer.
Fox's Mark Meredith.
The timing here for the White House really couldn't be any worse because the president's ready to talk a lot about the economy going forward. He's talked a lot about his efforts to build up America's unions.
Now, the president told supporters at a fundraiser last night in Virginia he doesn't know why House Republicans are opening an impeachment inquiry, saying best he can tell they want to shut the government down. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy tells Fox it's all about the president's alleged role in his son Hunter's overseas business dealings.
The president has changed what he has told the American public. So what we believe is you see a culture of corruption. We are going to get the answers to these questions.
President Biden will go to Maryland today to tout his economic agenda. We just got another inflation update, and just like consumer prices, wholesale costs rose month to month and year over year. Producer prices up more than expected at 0.7% in August. The annual rate increased 1.6%. That's double July's number as retail sales rose 0.6%. They're getting nervous about Hurricane Lee in New England.
Boats start loosening up. It only takes one to break free and start bouncing around and causing a lot of damage.
So he's securing his boat on Cape Cod, where Lee's storm surge could whip up big waves as it passes by, and possibly it's Maine and Canada as a tropical storm Monday. They keep finding bodies in flood disaster a storm caused in Libya. It's feared 20,000 people may have died in the city of Derna. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. When a restaurant closes, my reaction is, that sucks. They had good steak. When regional banks close, or 3 of them close overnight, it freaks me out. This is why I have my own personal gold reserve. It's part of my personal protection plan. Call my friends at Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your... so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
Mitt Romney says it's time to go, almost. The Republican senator, who's 76 years old, says he'll not run for re-election in Utah next year. And Romney says President Biden, who's 80, and former President Trump at age 77, should join him in stepping aside instead of running for the White House in 2024.
Republican Senator Mitt Romney's looking for the exit, saying younger lawmakers should be tackling issues like climate and AI. He was also asked about his feelings about what former President Trump may do if he gets reelected to the White House.
The Trump wing of the party talks about resentments of various kind and getting even and settling scores and revisiting the 2020 election. What are the policies for the future?
Romney also criticized President Biden for what he said was underinvesting in the U.S. military, as well as offering feel-good solutions that will make no difference to the global climate. In Washington, Jill Nato, Fox News.
We mentioned rising in inflation and retail sales earlier. We also got an unemployment update this morning showing a slight increase in first-time jobless claims last week, up to 220,000. On Wall Street, stocks could rise. Dow futures up 150 points. Barbie was the big summer movie, but Ken may soon take the spotlight.
Barbie's Boyfriend is one of 12 finalists for induction into the National Toy Hall of Fame. Other nominees include Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the game's Bingo, Battleship, and Bop It, Cabbage Patch Kids, and everyone's favorite, Slime. The nomination of Ken comes in the wake of this year's blockbuster Barbie movie. Barbie won induction quite a while ago in 1998, the year the Hall of Fame opened at the Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York. The finalists are judged by criteria including icon status, longevity, discovery, and innovation. Inductees will be revealed November 9th.
That's Tom Rigotti. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. ADM announcing another injured employee released from the hospital following that explosion in the East Soy plant Sunday night. 8 workers injured in the explosion. So far, 4 have been released from the hospital. Nearby corn processing plant also damaged, but ADM officials said they could have that plant up running this week. Aurora police investigating bomb threats made against several local libraries. Police say a threat was received through an online source, and an evacuation was ordered at all 3 branches Tuesday as a precautionary measure while officers investigated. Each building searched and no devices were found. This year's Illinois State Fair making history. The governor announcing this year's State Fair attendance total setting records. The more than 700,000 attendees over the 11-day event made this year's fair the most highly attended fair since industry standards were enacted. And a lot of officials saying because after the pandemic, more folks getting out. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. 8:06 in Champaign-Urbana. I'm going to call our friend Tim Onstoff for the smoke show.
Okay, sounds good.
He's got stuff that'll make me have better meat, like, boom, right away.
Like the spices, the flavors.
Yeah. Well, how do I jazz it up? And I'm just an average dude.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's like one of the best smoke grill guys in the world.
Right.
So,
well, Champaign County Bike Month is happening in September, and it's Bike to Work Day today. A great day for that. And there's 16 different locations throughout Champaign County where people can stop and have a welcome station, get some snacks and T-shirts and things being handed out. Pretty nice day.
Yeah.
Greg Soye.
Yeah, he rode his bike to work today.
Okay.
Right to his office, right over there.
I ride, well, I'm, weather and, schedule and work permitting, work kind of gets in the way.
No!
It happened
yesterday. Okay. Yeah. Darn.
Great way to work out.
You're breaking up just a smidge. Put that aluminum foil on your ear so we can get that.
There, now hold my right arm up. How's that? Is that better for you?
Yeah. All right. So
get it going.
As I was saying, I put 55 to 60 miles a week on the bike, but work gets in the way once in a while. So.
I thought you looked a little skinny at the tailgate the other day. So.
Yeah, well, that, and I'm probably down 35, 40 pounds from maybe 3 years ago. So, but bicycling, let me tell you, if I were closer to, Radio Central down there, I would join in some of those bike going activities.
Yeah, you would.
No problem.
Yeah, he'd have the spandex and the helmet and the sunglasses.
No, the helmet, yes. The spandex, no.
Okay.
All right, so what you got? I think it's looking great toward the weekend as well, huh?
Yeah, there's some conflicting data out there. We've got a kind of an upper weather system, somewhat moisture starved. We've seen enough of these that sometimes they do generate a couple of sprinkles of rain, nothing more for the weekend. And I think that'll even be apart from and away from any ball game activity. About 68, 69 at kickoff time. Light wind, kind of a blend of sunshine and high mid-level clouds across the area. And again, that sprinkle chance continues into Sunday. Apart from that, it is a nice pattern shift here to warmer and drier. To late summer-like and acceptably, at least I should say, showery across the area, but that's not really due in here till late next week, so it's a little bit of everything for everyone. Harvest, yeah, okay. Maturity out there, yeah, okay. We need more moisture, yeah, that's going to play out too here before the month is done. 56 now at Willard and Savoy. Forecast high 74 with sunshine. Clear tonight 48, 77 tomorrow. We'll be around that range for the weekend. Could be a sprinkle at some point here Saturday and Sunday. Later in the ball game, high temperature temperature up near 78. Into next week, up near 80 Monday and Tuesday, lower 80s next Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe a couple of showers as well next Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, Abby Roaches, Greg Solye.
All right, so the UAW big union, was it 55,000 members?
Yeah, United Auto Workers.
United Auto Workers might strike at midnight tonight. What does it mean to you? Well, I mean, if you drive GM cars, you're going to pay more, right? If they're going to stop production. They had a 40-day strike in 2019 that cost GM $4 billion or something. So they're thinking a 10-day strike could cost $5 billion.
Right.
Well, maybe inflation and stuff. The average UAW union worker makes $65,000 a year, not counting all the benefits. So it's a solid job. They're looking up at the CEO who makes, I don't know, a whole bunch. Find out what CEO of GM makes. I think it's $100 million. It's a lot. And I never quite understood. I guess if that's the going rate for the leader you're looking for, they'll go to wherever who's going to pay him more. If you think that, that CEO is that critical, you want to get a great leader.
$29 million in 2022.
Okay, $29 million. They're looking up saying, we want 10% a year. If you're looking at inflation, it's really only like 4% raise.
Okay.
Because we're not keeping up with inflation on our raises. So they say if they don't get 40% over 4 years, they're striking at midnight tonight. And how it affects you is if you drive a GM car, they're stopping production. They're going to, obviously the workers, there's going to be a lot of people they have a fund for that in the unions. I don't know. You can't sustain that. You can't pay people if they're not working. So there's that. What it does to the company isn't good. What it does to the stock, you're going to have people that have it in their investment portfolios and all that stuff. That's minimal compared to what it'll do to the worker and the company. So, again, it's you should, because that's happening. Well, no, that's too much. You're asking for too much, but inflation's gone through the roof. We've all felt that. And it's, Jimmy Carter-like, I think, in the times we're talking about. You can play with numbers. You can take this number and extract that number and make the number look better, and the average Joe isn't going to know the difference. You're just going to hear it. So the White House is going to spin it a little bit, take gas and food out of the which is what we're feeling. The stuff we're just buying every day because of necessity. Got to buy gas, got to buy food. Well, they want to make it hard to buy gas because they don't want you to drive a gas car. And it's like, okay, well, I'm all for cleaner. Let's just evolve to it.
Right.
They want it to happen now. And so putting the pain on you makes you go, I hate driving a gas car because it's $5 a gallon. Whatever it is. In the big cities, it is $5 and $6 a gallon. Around here, you're still hanging in the high threes, and I think it's going up. So anyway, that's the UAW thing. It's tonight, midnight. If they strike, you'll hear all about it. It's not good politically for President Biden. He's supposed to be a union president. Well, then figure it out. So we'll see. Apparently, the unions are not happy with this administration, feel like they've been disappointed time and time again.
So evidently, they're looking for a big 40% raise and then a 32-hour work week.
Yeah, I didn't mention that. That's France, man.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want a 4-day week, right?
Right.
I don't know. Can you get all your work done in 32 hours?
I don't know.
I know everybody would want that. Certainly, COVID changed the whole... COVID has changed so much when it comes to work, because now I think, and we're feeling it, I know in Chicago, there was a $100 million office building that is selling today for $50 million. Somebody took a bath because I'm working at home. I don't need all that office.
Right.
We're meeting once a week at Panera, So it's a huge thing.
Well, and how much is going to robotics on the
we're doing AI and
cars.
Transitioning out of some things for sure. But as far as the 32-hour work week, I don't care. Whatever they want to do, but I don't know if I can't get my work done in 32 hours. But I'm not building cars. So here we go. Sports headlines, 813-217-359-2255. Tappan's Towing phone line. You want to text in, you're welcome.
I was with some Cardinal fans yesterday, and they were talking about Adam Wainwright, and you thought next up would be Monday against Milwaukee?
It's 5 days from when he pitched, so he pitched 2 nights ago. That'd be Tuesday. Yeah, it sounds like about right.
Okay.
He's got 3 starts left.
Right.
The last weekend of the series of the season's in St. Louis. They got fireworks, Adam Wainwright stuff. It's a big celebration for the farewell of Adam Wainwright.
If he hits that 200.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have him get him. Might not, but it'd be great if I think the players are going to really do their best to step up and figure it out because they got to score runs for him. He's going to give up some runs. He's been pitching better as of late. His win against Baltimore, best team in the American League, pretty impressive.
Right.
Needs one more.
And St. Louis won yesterday, 1-0. Here's your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. Only one runner reached third base the entire game for the Baltimore Orioles, and that was on a 2-out triple by Gunnar Henderson off Ryan Helsley. But the next batter, Hicks, popped out to the shortstop, Mason Wynn, and the Cardinals won 1-0 on a Richie Palacios home run, giving Drew Rom his first Major League victory.
Only 7 hits in the game. Drew Rom was terrific. Clearly his best start as a big leaguer. He had 7 punch-outs in the game, had a lot of life on his fastball, looked really strong, and attacked his former team. He was an Oriole, came over in the trade for Jack Flaherty, and he really pitched very well against his old team, and very excited for Drew and excited to have Ryan Helsley close out a game and pitch in back-to-back days again. He was good in the ninth.
He picked up his 10th save, and Richie Palacios hit his 3rd home run in the last 2 games. It stood up 1-0, and the Cardinals turned 7 double plays in the series. Cardinals against the Phillies tomorrow night.
Yeah, they've been playing better. I mean, the big focus now is get Adam Wainwright his 200th and then see what young guys are going to stick. It's still going to come down to pitching. Cardinals got to figure out some frontline starters that they can count on, and I don't think they have very many of those.
So the Cardinals are off today, so are the Cubs. They're gearing up for a series against Arizona, and Colorado came out on top 7-3 yesterday.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Arizona now. Arizona's tied with the Cubs for wild card. I'm sorry, 2 games behind the Cubs in a wild card spot. It's so close. This thing could flip in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got to. Cubs just got to go win. It's easier said than done, but
That's
go win.
right.
Go win.
And then it looks like they're going to be facing the Pirates. Series coming up next week for that.
That should be okay.
And then back to the Rockies, it looks like.
Oh, my gosh, you got to beat the Rockies.
And Atlanta Braves. Oh, jeez.
Well, Atlanta they're resting.
And the Milwaukee Brewers coming into October.
I think the Braves will be resting. The Braves will be kind of shelving most
Since they're already in.
Yeah, they're in, and that's probably not a bad time to catch them.
Okay.
Because why do they care?
Okay.
They've got to care because it's important for all the teams. So, I mean, it's a probably good time to catch a team after they clinch. And Milwaukee may clinch by the time they play the Cubs again. They might be the same kind of thing. So
wow,
Milwaukee just has so much better pitching than anybody in that whole Central Division. So that's why they're on top.
So we have NFL action tonight. Minnesota Vikings, Philadelphia Eagles. When it comes to Sunday's game, Colts and Texans, Bears and Buccaneers. Your Monday night football game will spotlight the Saints and Panthers.
Yeah,
Stevie.
so we got that. But Kirk Cousins was one of the featured guys on the Netflix on quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, Mariotti, the quarterback from Oregon, and Kirk Cousins. And it's just, Kirk Cousins is probably ending the end, kind of toward he's a Michigan State quarterback, and he kind of bounced around the NFL with Washington, done pretty well. They made the playoffs with Minnesota, but he's such a nice man. And so you're rooting for him, but you're saying Minnesota's got some pretty good tools and pretty good guys that can play that quarterback position. I don't know. I'm rooting for him, but at Philadelphia is going to be really hard.
Right. Of course, we have our Illini against Penn State, and that's a hail to the orange out. If you get there a little early, you can get hot dogs and drinks for essentially $3 if you go in right when the gates open, which is, I think, 9:30. And then we've got an 11 o'clock kickoff and all the tailgating happening. They have the first 10,000 people getting the rally towels.
So just 10,000. You might not get one of those because there's going to be 40,000 plus.
I agree.
So 10,000 of them will be out, so maybe we won't get one. We just want to be able to wave it.
That's right.
And Penn State's coming in, man. I mean, you don't think there have been some adjustments this week? You bet there have been. So I think... I think we'll look better. I just don't. I know Penn State is a lot better than Kansas, so I don't know. I'm nervous. I get nervous.
Tomorrow night, there's an induction in for the Hall of Fame, and the 2023 Illinois Athletics Hall of Fame will be honored this weekend, and admission is free for that Friday night after 7, and then you'll see him at halftime, and then, of course, you got the freaky fast 77-yard dash presented by Jimmy John's between the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah,
where
all right.
we've got the Red Grange, who's playing Red Grange, is going to be popping around the tailgate parties 3 hours before kickoff.
Our Red Grange guy is pretty fast. So good luck, whoever.
Freaky fast.
That's right. All right, we'll be right back. Fox Business Minute. We'll see what's up with the markets here coming up in just a moment.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana this Saturday, and easy going. Late summertime weather pattern continues on. Pattern shift ahead for next week into warmer days and perhaps some increased shower activity late next week and beyond. Apart from that, an easy going weather pattern, the story for the upcoming weekend, including football Saturday. Oh, there may be a sprinkle or two and nothing more. A little patchy fog around here early on this morning. Otherwise, lots of sunshine, light wind, and high to about 74. Average high this time of the year right around 79, so with a ballpark there. Clear tonight, 48. Tomorrow, sunshine, more seasonal at 77 in the afternoon. Light east to southeast wind. Clouds increase Saturday and a partly sunny Sunday. There could be a sprinkle around. Light winds. Kickoff temperature about 68 Saturday at 11 o'clock. 78 later in the ball game. 77 the forecast high on Sunday. Here comes a warm up next week at 78 Monday. Near 80 Tuesday. Lower 80s for Wednesday and Thursday. And Friday next week, nights down into the 55 to 60 degree range. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Inflation at the wholesale level was hotter than expected in August. The producer price index rose 0.7%, but up just 0.2% excluding food and energy, a sign of the impact of higher energy prices. The overall PPI reading for the year ending in August rose to 1.6%, and the core number matched forecasts at 2.2%. Retail sales rose 0.6% in August. Excluding auto sales, the increase was also 0.6%. Those numbers are stronger than predicted, but likely reflect shoppers paying higher prices. And the number of new claims for unemployment benefits last week came in at 22,000, still in the range of a healthy job market. Also, the European Central Bank raised its key interest rate this morning by 0.25 percentage point. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey everyone, it's Kennedy, and you can listen to my podcast, Kennedy Saves the World. It's going 5 days a week right here on the Fox News Podcast Network. We're bringing you all the fan favorites. Party Swap, Kennedy's Court, even a Kennedy Saves the World happy hour. Listen on Spotify, Apple, FoxNewsPodcast.com, or wherever you download podcasts.
Kennedy Saves the World. America's listening to Fox News.
Join the Champaign Parks Foundation for a fun evening of food, socializing, and entertainment at the iHotel and Conference Center with Champaign Park District Youth Scholarship Fund to benefit from the new Ties and Tennies Gala. It's coming up on Thursday, September 14th, and you'll enjoy dueling pianos, a plated dinner, complimentary wine and beer, live and silent auction, and featured speaker Team USA Paralympian sitting volleyball player Nicole Millage. Learn more details. Visit champaignparks.org.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Capture every mood with Merle Norman's Fall Moods color collection. Warm and cool romance eye and cheek palettes feature 4 velvety eyeshadows and 2 blushes for creating on-trend mauve and smoky wine looks. Plus, you'll receive a free travel-size mascara with your palette. Enhance lips with the new plush lip liners in Rosewood and Merlot. Both complement 4 plush lipstick limited editions exclusively covered in lip marks. Fall Moods color collection is available now while supplies last at Merle Norman, 706 West Market View Drive in Champaign.
Ladies and gentlemen, County Board superstar Jeff Wilson. How are you, Jeff? How are you?
You're so funny. I'm doing great, Stevie. How are you today?
Well, the only thing they'll let Jeff do is motion to adjourn. That's all he gets. That's it.
Yeah, hey, you know what? I just want to be thankful to your station and allowing us to reach out to the veterans to support this program. We had that conversation, about a month ago, and you know what? There was a big turnaround at the county board. About a dozen or so veterans showed up at the county board on the 24th of August and just shared their stories. I mean, some of them are heart-wrenching stories, Stevie, of experience with PTSD. And, oh, you know what? It just want to make you cry to hear those stories. But, you know, the bottom line is I'm also thankful that the county board was able to listen to the story of all those veterans and then go ahead and award $165,000 for the Stop the Violence program, Veterans Wellness Program, that supports both the veterans and their families that are suffering with PTSD.
I didn't think that we felt that was going to be possible a month ago when you came in. I mean, were you that sure it would pass, and certainly unanimously?
I didn't think it was going to be possible at all. And but, you know, we worked a lot with veterans in the community and different associations, even the Elks Club in Champaign here in Savoy, and got the veterans together and just helped them explain their story to the county board. And I think that means the difference. The difference between just having something written down and then having the emotional eyeball contact with people that generally have a suffer and a need that needs to be addressed.
Well, you did the work to get them there, Jeff. You told them about all this. You got the word out about it. So kudos to you. And listen, I don't say this ever. Kudos to the county board. How about that?
Yes. Yeah, right. Hey, and if I have a second, I want to just give you a contact person for the Veterans Stop the Violence program. His name is Robbie Walker, ROBBIE Walker, WALKER, at va.gov. And his phone number is 217-215-6242. He's the leader of this program.
Okay, so people that want to reach out want to get hold of Robbie.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
So let's talk about that just a second, because there are great things happening in our community and resources available, but it's taking the step to go through the red tape and actually get this assistance now. So your first chat would be Robbie Walker and va.gov and 217-216-6242.
Correct, 217-215-6242.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so there's a lot of programs. And I'll just real quickly, the county board also funded what is called a stand down for the veterans. And so last Saturday, there was a stand down, which what that means is provisions are made to veterans, homeless veterans in the community. And I was there, and I was just happy to be there. And let me tell you, Stevie, it's just emotional, and it's just also encouraging to know that part of the community is reaching out to support veterans that are homeless and in desperate need of items and materials, blankets, hats, socks, shoes, all those kind of things. And so Robbie Walker and his wife Cheryl Walker ran that program last Saturday, and it was a wonderful program.
Okay, nice. And again, I'm not going to give a mouse a cookie. He wants a glass of milk. It's not a ton of money, but it's a start.
Right.
It's a good start.
A start.
Yep, and it's awesome.
Start.
You got it done. $165,000. Again, 217-215-6242. Robbie Walker. You start there, and you go through the process, and maybe you get a little money to help.
Well, and you're a Navy veteran yourself, and your son Philip, didn't he recently graduate with high honors?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, he got high honors in his class. It was a 48-week special training. He got top honors for his class. He's a sergeant in the Army, and in another month or so, he'd be heading to Schofield Barracks in Hawaii, which it can't be too bad a deal, right?
Wow. I didn't know they had a barracks in Hawaii. Is that on the what island is that?
It's on Oahu.
Okay, so it'd be in Honolulu, outside Honolulu. Then.
Yeah, Honolulu, not too far from Pearl Harbor.
Tell him to make sure he gets over to Sea Life Park, because tell him you'll treat him. It'll be kind of expensive. You'll treat him to where you're laying in the pool, and two bottlenose dolphins come up and take a foot each and push them out of the water. It's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
All right. I'll tell them. I'm actually seeing them this weekend, so I'll tell them.
You might want to do a bake sale to pay for it, but you got to let them do that, man. It's unbelievable. Jeff,
well, I just want to say thank you to you, your station, the veterans, and Also, kudos to the county board for doing this.
Listen, it's kudos to you. I mean, we're just a conduit.
Thanks for drawing to our attention, Jeff.
We are also hypersensitive to actually fulfilling the license of the FCC and helping local and helping good people in your local town. That's what we really like to do.
Serving the public's interest, convenience, and necessity.
That's what we're supposed to be doing, Jeff, and we're trying.
You're doing good.
We appreciate you, bud. Thanks for all your work.
All right.
Hey, congratulations to your son. Man, that's awesome.
Way to go, Philip.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks so much. Jeff Wilson on the board, county board, and good news.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I rarely say good news from the Champaign County Board.
That's right.
But that's good news.
And if you ever want to rehear this segment, it's StevieJay.com for the podcast.
All right, we're going to get some tips on grilling out just in time for the tailgate on Saturday.
A little bit of a smoke show from Tim Onstead.
Yeah, he's a world-renowned grill smoke guy. That's next.
If you want a hand-cut, perfectly cooked filet, there's only one place to get it. The Long Branch Steakhouse in downtown Gifford. Customers rave about Donnie's fillets. So tender that you can cut it with your fork. Don't go to an ordinary steakhouse. Choose Long Branch and have it your way. Join the many people who know that it's worth the trip. The Long Branch Steakhouse in beautiful downtown Gifford. And remember, there's always room for Long Branch.
You've changed thousands of diapers, cut hundreds of crusts, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose, because you'd do anything for your kids. That's why it's important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. The Brian Hansen State Farm Agency will make it easy and affordable to help protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you'd do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call me, State Farm Agent Brian Hansen in Champaign-Urbana today. For details, visit brianismyguy.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The United Auto Workers contract with the big three automakers runs out tonight. If there's no deal, the plan is to strike at some plants at first and then more and more if talks drag on.
UAW workers are threatening to walk the picket lines if the UAW's demands aren't met by midnight. UAW President Shawn Fain has called previous offers from Ford, GM, and Stellantis insufficient.
Fox's Jeff Manasso, Ford's CEO, says the unions presented no genuine counteroffer. President Biden at a fundraiser in Virginia says he's not focused on House Republicans' impeachment inquiry into his family finances endorsed by House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Florida House Republican Aaron Bean on Fox.
This is a great step by Kevin McCarthy to say, let's go and see where this evidence leads, and that's what we're going to do.
He says the committee chairs in charge of the inquiry are holding a closed-door meeting today. On Wall Street, stocks start the day higher. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. More than 100 state employees in Illinois accused of PPP loan fraud. The state's Office of Executive Inspector General found at least 177 state employees suspected of defrauding the federal Paycheck Protection Program. Workers have been referred to the Illinois Attorney General's office for possible prosecution. And Illinois Appeals Court hearing arguments by attorneys for Jussie Smollett, lawyers for the actor requesting his conviction of lying to police about being the victim of a 2019 phony racist and homophobic attack in Chicago be dismissed. He argued that he already had to deal with Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox, who dropped the original charges. This year's Illinois State Fair making some history. The governor announcing this year's State Fair attendance total, setting records. The more than 700,000 attendees over the 11-day event made this year's fair the most highly attended fair since industry standards were enacted. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. And a pretty quiet, easygoing late summertime weather pattern on the maps and charts. Weekend weather system may generate a couple of sprinkles of rain, and that's it. Otherwise, very pleasant over in Memorial Stadium for football Saturday. Big warm-up slated around here over the middle and late portions of next week. Still a fair amount of summertime to go, and there may be a trend towards wetter weather patterns as well as we wind on through the remainder of the second half of the month of September. A little patchy fog around early on this morning, otherwise mostly sunny. Light wind in 74, clear tonight in 48, sunshine tomorrow in 77. Weekend forecast, some increasing cloudiness, maybe a couple of sprinkles around. Kickoff temperature about 68 Saturday, up to 78 later in the day. Sunday high of 77. We'll get close to 80 Monday and Tuesday, into the lower 80s. We climb next Wednesday and Thursday. Wetter weather ahead for late next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne, where your dream car awaits. With an exquisite selection of top-tier vehicles, impeccable service, and unbeatable prices, they are your ultimate destination for automotive excellence. Experience luxury, performance, and style like never before. Visit today and drive home in the vehicle you've always desired. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. Your journey towards automotive perfection starts here. Visit them at Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Short-term market fluctuations can be unnerving for everyone. A proven way to tune out the noise and focus on long-term investment goals is to adhere to a well-constructed investment plan. This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. If you don't have a plan in place, we can help create one designed specifically for you. Call us today for a complimentary consultation. Contact us at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
What kind of bedside manner would you like your doctor to have? At Roof Doctors, they make sure you feel good about what they can do for you. They make sure they answer all of your questions and feel comfortable about whatever procedure your roof needs. Roof Doctors has helped customers for over 30 years. Randy and Tammy have helped make lives better in our community with their generosity and kindness. Roof Doctors is a company you can trust if you need anything done on your roof. Roof Doctors in Urbana. They make you their #1 priority.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Coach House Garages is celebrating their 50th anniversary. And now through December, when you purchase a garage, you can enter to win 5% off. Just visit CoachHouseGarages.com. That's CoachHouseGarages.com or call Chuck Ruth. And now, a brand new show called Smoke, where we help you with your grill and making the best meat ever. With award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Smoke in Tim's Grill. He's the best brisket maker ever. Smoke in Tim's Grill. And now award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Gale Ferrick's Trucking, Dixie Chopper. It is Driver Appreciation Week. Is that what I'm understanding, Tim Onstadt?
Yes, sir. And we want to thank all of our wonderful drivers that we have. We're blessed to have them. They're out there doing their job while we get to sit in here in the office and work hard for them.
Well, I talked to a guy, and he said, I have my CDL. And, of course, I dropped your name. I said, I got a guy.
Right.
And he, I said, you guys, so sensitive to nights and weekends and family time and stuff. He said, boy, that's great. So I'm trying. I'm working it, Bubba. I'm working it now.
Well, we appreciate it, and we appreciate all the guys that we do have, and the more to come.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm thinking the tailgate on Saturday, it's kind of an early start. I like the later kickoffs because you have a little more time to do the work on the grill. By the way, again, Tim served us food week 1.
Delicious.
Oh, my gosh. And you were in competition in Indiana, a 7th place in your brisket. It's so subjective. I mean, it's really hard. You are always up there in brisket, Bob. That's really hard to do.
We're still licking our wounds. We cooked about like Illinois played defense last weekend. It was a rough crowd.
Ouch. Okay. So if I'm an average dude, right? I just want to grill and I don't spend the time that I should and all these things. I'm popping some meat on. You had given me the name of a spice at all the grocery stores that I thought made huge impact and actually was good on my rice. What are some things like that can help me elevate to maybe make it? I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but Tim on the spot makes it a little better.
Well, the first thing you got to start with is the reason you're grilling or cooking on a smoker is to get that wood flavor, to get the flavors. So you have to consider your wood and your charcoal as part of your ingredients. A good lump charcoal, we use B&B. I think in the Champaign area it's available at Farm and Fleet. That's a great start.
Mm-hmm.
If you're cooking brisket, which you're going to be cooking slow and off the heat on a grill or in a smoker, your basic ingredients are just salt, pepper, and garlic.
Wow.
Aaron Franklin down in Austin, Texas, cooks 200 of them a day. That's his ingredients. He sells all of them every day by 2 or 3 o'clock at $34 a pound.
Come on, man.
All he has on it is salt, pepper, and garlic.
Nuts. Like a real garlic or sprinkle garlic? I mean, what is the...
It's a granulated garlic.
Okay.
Available at any grocery store.
So guys like me, guys like me that are, let's get it done. I'm using gas. Is that like sacrilegious to even say gas grill when you're talking about a pro like you?
Well, we don't use it because we're not allowed to. That's not a heat source that's allowed by the KCBS. So we're cooking on wood or charcoal only.
Well, Christian has the green egg, and when he prepares something, it's stupid good. I mean, it's so good. It's a big difference. There's no doubt.
Yep. The main thing is do not use any lighter fluid, any type of lighter fluid with a green egg.
Right.
That ceramic will soak up that flavor, and you'll have it forever.
Oh, my gosh, what a good tip that is. So you get the green egg, you better be a little more sophisticated than the Girl Scout water. Is that what they call it? Yeah, Girl Scout.
Yep. Yeah, just get you a chimney and light some charcoal in the chimney and dump it in there. That's easy. Then, rather than the grocery store, a great place to get your basic rubs and sauces and seasonings is Farm and Home store like Rural King carries a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah, awesome. What was
products.
What was the thing you told me to get though? It was real basic. It was a Hispanic.
Tony Chechery's. He has both a Cajun and a Creole seasoning. We've used that on ribs before. It's good on a lot of stuff.
What was the name of it again? It's called what now?
Tony Chechery.
I was putting that down. I was putting that on my white rice. It was delicious. Yeah. I mean, that thing just made it better.
I'm familiar because I spent most of the 90s down in Louisiana.
Okay.
They do the Tony Chechery's for sure.
I don't know how to spell Chechery.
I can
it's like a C or something.
It's a CH,
yeah. Tim,
but no matter what you use, make sure it's fresh. Don't open a can this year and then expect to come back and have it taste the same next year for the tailgate. It does get bad. Air is bad for it.
If you
CHACHERE apostrophe S.
There you go.
Creole seasoning.
If you ever have a question for Tim, you can always send it to us. We'll hold it for the next Thursday, 217-359-2255. How to be better outside in the grill. Are you working this weekend? You're not going to grill anything, right? You don't do that?
We're prepping for a wedding next weekend, so we've got to trim up about 8 briskets and 4 pork butts for a good-sized wedding.
Now that you said that, people are saying, do they do weddings? We
do one a year, and we're booked for the next couple of years.
I was going to say, yeah, talk about sweaty work, man. It's hard. That's tough. Listen, you're the best. We appreciate you, Tim. Well done, and love hearing some tips, and I'm going to try some of this that you told us, so I can't wait.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, talk to you. That's Tim Onstott, and he's with Gale Ferrex Trucking and Dixie Chopper Smoke.
And a lot of people like getting the deals on the mowers this time of year, too.
Well, if you need, I should have asked him, Dixie Chopper is the fastest mower. It's a dedicated diesel.
That's right.
You're driving north on 45 past Farm and Fleet, and you'll get on Triumph Drive. There's no reasonable offers being declined.
Right.
And if you are into the lawn mowing business, want to get into that, you might look at the price of what you'll get here.
Right.
I don't think you're ever going to beat this. So that's the Dixie Chopper. And then Gale Ferrex Trucking, you want to work for a family that really is sensitive to nights, weekends, holidays?
Yeah.
They do that. And they pay very well. So if you do have a CDL, you might want to apply or something. 8:43 sports headlines coming up. By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience. Several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just a name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business.
Norm Miller here, chairman of Interstate Batteries. You know, without batteries, life would be pretty lifeless. That's why Interstate All Battery Centers carry them in every size, shape, and style, so you can drive, drill, call, film, or do whatever it is you want to do. Stop in today. They've got the power to keep you going. Interstate All Battery Center. Outrageously dependable.
Interstate All Battery Center. You'll find them outrageously dependable just over Interstate 74 at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign, with batteries for most every application in stock.
Coach House Garages is celebrating their 50th anniversary. And now through December, when you purchase a garage, you can enter to win 5% off. Just visit CoachHouseGarages.com. That's CoachHouseGarages.com, or call Chuck Ruth. All right, little sports headline action.
Well, the St. Louis Cardinals are gearing up for a series starting tomorrow against the Philadelphia Phillies. Last night, winners 1-0 over Baltimore. Do we want to do the Redbird recap?
Sure.
Okay.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. Only one runner reached third base the entire game for the Baltimore Orioles, and that was on a 2-out triple by Gunnar Henderson off Ryan Helsley. But the next batter, Hicks, popped out to the shortstop, Mason Wynn, and the Cardinals won 1-0 on a Richie Palacios home run, giving Drew Rom his first Major League victory.
Only 7 hits in the game. Drew Rom was terrific. Clearly his best start as a big leaguer. He had 7 punch-outs in the game, had a lot of life on his fastball, looked really strong, and attacked his former team. He was an Oriole, came over in the trade for Jack Flaherty, and he really pitched very well against his old team, and very excited for Drew, and excited to have Ryan Helsley close out a game and pitch in back-to-back days again. He was good in the ninth.
He picked up his 10th save, and Richie Palacios hit his 3rd home run in the last 2 games. It stood up 1-0, and the Cardinals turned 7 double plays in the series. Cardinals against the Phillies tomorrow night.
Who's Richie Palacio?
I was just going to say, I think these are some names that have bumped up. Huh?
Yeah, he came up from AAA, I guess. He's hit 3 home runs. He helped Waino win his 199th with 2 home runs, and he didn't even start. He came in. So, I mean, leave him in. Leave him in.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Colorado over the Cubs 7-3 to prevent a sweep, wasn't it? I feel like
Colorado got 2 out of 3, and the Cubs get him back in Wrigley here in a week. They've just got to keep winning. It's so tight in that wild card race.
Yeah, Arizona's next. So
at Arizona, and Arizona handled the Cubs 3 out of 4 in Wrigley. So, and Arizona is tied with Cincinnati this morning for the 3rd wild card spot. If Arizona sweeps the Cubs are out. That's how fast it'll go.
I see.
The Cubs got to win.
Cubs are 78-69.
Just got to win. Guess it won out there, and you'll probably still be in the wild card. But it's just going to come down to the last day, folks.
Sure.
It's just going to come down to the last day.
Kansas City over the Chicago White Sox. They're starting up a series 6:40 tonight against the Minnesota Twins. Our Illinois volleyball team in action at West Lafayette. The Purdue Boilermaker Challenge is going on, and USC's who they'll face at 4:30 Central Time. We have NFL action with the Minnesota Vikings and Philadelphia Eagles. Colts and Texans, Bears and Buccaneers, all Sunday at noon. Saints and Panthers on Monday night. That's sports. I'm Diane Ducey.
Allow us to offer you a welcoming invitation to our MCC family get-together on Sunday, September 24th. Come and join our Muhammad Christian Church as we will celebrate our weekly worship service outside at 10 a.m. A tent canopy to protect from the weather will be in place, and a welcoming team will greet you and your family and assist your every need. Bottled water, smiles, and a chorus of glad to see you will be provided. And please stop by our children's ministry table and hear of the creative, exciting, and fun walks with Jesus. Join us as we share communion and the feeling of our Lord smiling with his blessings. That's Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road, Sunday, September 24th for outside service at 10 a.m. And stay for our MCC family get-together picnic, absolutely free following service. We are Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road. Please visit muhammadchristian.org.
These days, it seems like bank names are changing faster than a forecast in February. But at Iroquois Federal, we're still the same community bank we've always been. For more than 135 years, we've built relationships by helping build the things that matter, whether it's a business, a back porch, or the building blocks of a better life. If you're looking for a bank that's here for the long haul, swing by today and see for yourself why different rules. Iroquois Federal, still friendly, still local, still here.
Diane Ducey here with Nate Evans of eXp Realty. It's always a good time to sell your home.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
When you've got an emergency, call Dogtown Heating and Air. Whether it's HVAC repair, plumbing repair, or choosing a new system for your home, Dogtown is here for you. They're an independently owned Lennox dealer, and they offer financing and repair for all makes and models. They also offer a maintenance program to protect and prolong the life of your equipment. Open 24/7 for your needs. Call Dogtown Heating and Air at 217-841-4728. That's 841-4728. Online at dogtownheatingandair.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and Panhandle this Saturday and easy going. Late summertime weather pattern continues on. Pattern shift ahead for next week into warmer days and perhaps some increased shower activity late next week and beyond. Apart from that, an easy going weather pattern, the story for the upcoming weekend, including football Saturday. Oh, there may be a sprinkle or two and nothing more. A little patchy fog around here early on this morning. Otherwise, lots of sunshine, light wind, and high to about 74. Average high this time of the year right around 79, so with a ballpark there. Clear tonight, 48. Tomorrow, sunshine, more seasonal at 77 in the afternoon. Light east to southeast wind. Clouds increase Saturday and a partly sunny Sunday. There could be a sprinkle around. Light winds. Kickoff temperature about 68 Saturday at 11 o'clock. 78 later in the ball game. 77 the forecast high on Sunday. Here comes a warm up next week at 78 Monday, near 80 Tuesday, lower 80s for Wednesday and Thursday, and Friday next week. Nights down into the 55 to 60 degree range. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
During challenging times, family and health come first. This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Many of us have spent the past year feeling a little bit out of control. There are steps you can take to help plan for a better financial future. Now's the time to take action and create a financial plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Football fans, plan to party at Pia's before, after, and during games as you get on the watch parties with great prizes and giveaways during the fourth quarter on special game days. Get 5 bottles in the Coors Light bucket for $16.75 or enjoy the $8.95 pitcher special on Illini game days. It's $5 for Blue Moon drafts and Jack Daniels drinks. Murder your thirst with liquid death water and CBD products. Pia's is the place to party. 1609 West Springfield Avenue in Champaign.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. Welcome to Sarah Champaign, home of their award-winning Honda dealership, a double recipient of the prestigious Honda President's Award. With a legacy of excellence, they offer you the finest selection of Honda vehicles backed by unparalleled customer service. As a 2-time winner, they're committed to exceeding your expectations. Visit them today at Route 45 at Burwalk or Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, Champaign.com. Sarah Champaign, home of Honda, BMW, Subaru, Buick, and GMC. That's sarahchampagne.com. Yeah, I don't know if time flies as fast for you as it does for me, but boy, I look around, I'm going, man, halfway through September.
I know.
And we
last
got
quarter coming up.
Fourth quarter.
Right.
16 days away.
Tonight, United Way has their Pillar Leadership Celebration happening at Carmen's, and the Ties and Tennies means I'll be getting fancy with comfortable shoes.
Why don't we all wear tennies to... Well, we all go to Body and Soul and get tennis shoes.
Why not?
I mean, that's so much more comfortable.
I agree. iHotel and Conference Center for that, and lots of experiences and trips being given away. If you want more details on how to support the Youth Scholarship Fund, ChampaignParks.com.
I think you can do the whole online thing, too.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, bid online.
And, of course, we were talking yesterday with Gabe Lewis with the Champaign County Regional Planning Commission about Bike Month here in September. And today was Bike to Work Day, and until 10 o'clock. There's 16 different stations around the area where you can pop in for some snacks and some free stuff. They've got a Light the Night giveaway coming up, and they'll be doing at the full moon, a bike ride to Sydney Dairy Barn from Meadowbrook. Meadowbrook has their party tomorrow with the Urbana Park District. The Jazz Walk has 11 different combos that are going to be performing. That's 5 to 7 tomorrow. And the statements about the Wandale Sculpture Garden's 25th anniversary at 4:15.
All right, so we got Illinois football, and here's what the crowd will be like, having followed this for a minute. It'll be energy, not crazy, a little subdued, a little wait and see. If you find yourself in the third quarter looking up when we're down 17-10, they're going to hang with us. I mean, the people will be there.
Yeah.
If it's 28-7 at half, there's going to be an exit after the Chief. And
there's no Chief.
What?
After the halftime show.
Oh.
You mean?
I see the Chief.
And again, I do too, and I do all the dances. And
all right, so after the Marching Illini and their halftime program, which ultimately ends in us yelling Chief,
right?
But I'm really shooting here for competitive. And remember, we've been down and out certainly in just the 3 years with Brett Bielema, and things tend to get better. So can we adjust, because we have some talented kids. Matt Bailey, who's in our secondary, is back this week. That's a big one.
Okay.
But Penn State's really, really good. It'll probably be the best team we play this year. So
number 7 in the nation.
Yeah, they're good. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. We'll come back, do this tomorrow, get your weekend going. All the latest on the Illini kickoff at 11 on Saturday. We'll talk Illinois as well. But thank you for listening. The boys this afternoon, Lon and Derek today with Kyle after 3, right here on ESPN 93.5. Thank you for listening. Have a great Thursday.
Head to Merle Norman for your free gift with purchase. Shop now to receive a trial-sized eyeliner, makeup remover, plush lip liner, and a lip gloss. Available at Merle Norman, 706 West Marketview Drive in Champaign.
Free with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetics products. Cosmetic accessories not included. Offer valid while supplies last at participating Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios only beginning September 1st, 2023. Limit 1 per customer. We reserve the right to modify the gift if needed. Not available at merlenorman.com.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Here's what one shopper said about Pard's Western Shop in Urbana, 306 North Maple, between Main and University. He said, sure, you can find booths at some big box stores, but nothing like Pard's selection. They're unique, they're local, and they have an excellent store. So many people that visit Pard's in Urbana say the same thing. Pard's in Urbana, 306 North Maple. You can find the best boots in the world and shop local. Visit pards.com, pards.com.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
As the summer temperatures rise, make sure your energy bills stay low. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing to upgrade to a high-efficiency Lennox air conditioner. Dogtown offers financing, including 0% no interest for qualifying customers. And if you have rooms in your house that don't seem to stay cool, call and ask about the great rebates on the Daikin Douglas mini splits. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend. Curtis Orchard, Randy explains.
So this is the time of year that we're looking for enthusiastic, energetic employees for our family business. Our employees enjoy each other's company. They enjoy interacting with the public. So we're looking for some capable, friendly, enthusiastic young people and older people alike who want a part-time job to be employees for the season.
It means a lot to us that our customers are like family and our employees are like family. We have a lot of employees that have been with us 15 to 20 years. They come back every year, and it's because
we all like working together. We all enjoy working together. And even though it gets really frantic in the fall, if you've ever been out there on a fall weekend, you know what I'm talking about. It's just wonderful to get to know your customers, your community, and be able to serve them. So we want friendly people who have the same values that we have, which is caring for people and giving them a great experience while they're out at the farm. You can visit curtisorchard.com and apply online today.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
You spend half of your life indoors. That's half of your life underneath your roof. Who do you trust to keep you safe and dry underneath it? The name to remember is Roof Doctors. Roof Doctors understands the harsh weather conditions that your roof endures because they're a family and locally owned business. From your community, for your community, the doctors who make the house calls, Roof Doctors, at roofdoctors.com or phone 328-7529. Rest easy under a roof that's been treated by Roof Doctors.
Illini fans, for a limited time at Jets Pizza, new popcorn chicken pizzas. Their tasty popcorn chicken on their famous BBQ, Aloha BBQ, Buffalo Ranch, or Bacon Ranch pizzas. It's new and a limited time offer, so don't miss out. Try any of the four for just $17.99. Code BBQ. Their popcorn chicken pizzas are perfect to order while watching football with friends and family. Try their tasty popcorn chicken on their famous BBQ, Aloha BBQ, Buffalo Ranch, or Bacon Ranch pizzas. Just $17.99. Code BBQ. Jets, better because it has to be.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the